Hello everyone, welcome back. You're watching the Data Labs. My name is Dilip. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to create a SQL Query Executor application in MS Excel and VBA. So before creating this interesting and useful application, let's see the demo first. So here you can see that I have developed this SQL Query Executor in MS Excel and VBA. And with the help of this application, you can run any SQL statement to query data from Excel Workbook. You can also use the same tool to query data from SQL, Access, SharePoint or any other database after making few changes in Visual Basic application code if required. Okay, so here if you look at this, we have a text box to update the Excel file name along with complete path. You can directly input the Excel file name here and also you can double click on this text box or click on browse button to select the desired file name. Okay, down below we have another text box where you can write all the SQL statement so that you can query the data from Excel Workbook. And once you enter the SQL statement, you just need to click on the Run SQL. And once you click on Run SQL, like Visual Basic application will do some validation, like it will check whether the file name provided in this text box is valid file name or not, and again whether you have entered any SQL statement in this second text box or not. If both the validation will pass, then again the Visual Basic application will validate the query, the SQL statement basically. If the SQL statement will be a valid statement, then it will provide the output in row number like B24. In case if the SQL statement is incorrect, basically the structure of the SQL statement, then it will prompt the error message and it will also show the error description over here in B25. Okay, so let's quickly run some SQL statement and see the outcome. Okay, so let's first of all let's see the data which we will be utilizing to query. So this is the sales table, and we will be using this sales data to run the query. So let's come to this folder and again come to this tool and need to click on browse, and here you could just select this sales data, click on open. So now you can see that with the help of browse button we have provided the complete path of this sales data.xlsx. Let's write the query. So first of all we will write the query, that would be the select star from table name. So select star from, and here we are not using any table basically. So our query is based on this the sales data XLS, that is the workbook. So the rule is like if you are going to query data from an Excel workbook, then you need to pass the worksheet name over here. So let's so you need to encapsulate the workbook with a square bracket. So let's put the square bracket, and then if you look at this here, the worksheet name is sales, so we need to provide the sales over here and then followed by dollar symbol. Okay, now we are done with the first code. Let's click on run and it will take the confirmation. Click on yes. So now you can see that all this the entire data has been copied and pasted over here. Now let's put some where clause basically. So select star from cells where customer name is equal to, you can take any of this, maybe like let's take this Arnav Gupta. Yeah, okay, let's run this query. Yes, so now you can see that it's showing the data for Arnav only. If you want to limit the data or maybe extend this where clause again, then you can pass and ship mode is equal to standard class. So let's take this ship mode, and this ship mode is equal to, let's copy the paste the data from here itself and paste over here. Okay, so now we have two conditions. The name should be Arnav Gupta and the ship mode should be standard class. Let's run this query. Yes, so now you can see that it's showing the record for customer name, that is Arnav Gupta, and the ship mode is standard class. So this is how you can run any of the SQL statement query. Let's run some group by query here. So let me delete the entire line, this select, and then we shape mode, and then comma, we are taking the summation of this sales. So sorry, sum, and then we need to pass this column here. Okay, as we need to provide the column header, column header for that, the sales, so total sales. Okay, from the table name, that would be in the worksheet, sales, and followed by dollar symbol, and then group by ship mode. Okay, let's run this query. Click on run this query and then click on yes. You can see that like it has provided the summarized information. So we are grouping the total sales by ship mode. So this is how you can run any of the SQL statements, and it will be very, very fast. And with the help of this SQL statement, you can extend the capability of Excel, like the query capability. Okay, so let's start creating this application from scratch. So first of all, let's click on a reset button and click on yes. So it will remove all the data. Yeah, press Ctrl N and save this file. So make sure the file extension should be .xlsm. Let's rename this file, this worksheet. Now we are done with this rename. Let's move to this view tab and untick this grid line. Okay, press Ctrl S to save the file. Let's come to the demo file, and to save our time in creating this user interface, basically we will copy and paste, and I will explain what objects we are using so that we can quickly create that. Okay, so first of all, you just need to go to the developer tab and click on design mode, so that while selecting all the objects, it will also select this text box or the button. Yeah, so click on any of the object, press Ctrl A, Ctrl C, and move to the file which we are developing here, Ctrl V. So now we can see that everything is started reflecting over here. So now we need to set the properties of all the objects, so that whenever the cells the row and column size will increase, all the objects size will remain as it is. Okay, so just go to the developer tab and click on design mode, and now select any of the object, press Ctrl A, right click, size and properties, and then in format picture pane, just select do not move or size with cell. Okay, now we need to reduce the size of this column A. Just right click on that, column 8th, and that would be 0.81. So we are done with copying and pasting the objects. So let's understand basically what objects we are using. So this is the image here, and this is the text box, simple text box. This is again the logo, and this is rectangle, rectangle shape basically, and again this one is rectangle shape. This is also rectangle shape, and this is the text box. This text box is from this one, the Activex control, that is the text box. Again, this text box is coming from the Activex controls, and we have 3 buttons over here. That is also Activex control, that is command button. So browse, run SQL, and reset. Okay, so let's set the properties of all these Activex controls. So first select this text box, click on developer tab and click on properties. So here we need to give this the text box name basically, so that would be txt workbook path. Let me do that. Yeah, and now the color should be this one. So all this object the properties will remain as it is. So let's select this text box and then we need to provide the name as txt SQL query. Okay, and let's come to the down here. Here multi-line property should be true, and the scroll bar should be no, both horizontal and vertical basically. So in case the SQL statement will increase in size, then it will be like a scroll bar will be automatically added, the vertical scroll bar and horizontal scroll bar. Okay, let's drag this here. Now we need to set the properties of this browse button. So let's rename this, and this cmd browse, and accelerator key we have provided, that is B, and the color, that is the purple, dark purple color. Okay, let's come to this run SQL button, and let's change the name, that would be cmd run SQL. Okay, here we have provided the accelerator, that is R, and the color, that is dark green basically. Let's come to the reset, and the name should be cmd reset. The accelerator key is T. You can see that like the T is underlined, so that while pressing the Alt key, Alt and T, you can execute whatever the query, whatever the code we have, we will assign on reset button. Okay, so we are done with all these properties, basically assigning all the properties. Now press Ctrl S to save this file. Okay, and let's move to the demo file. Close this file because that is not required anymore. Okay, and we can also close this, the sales data. Now let's move to the developer tab and click on Visual Basic Application button available here, so that we can open the Visual Basic Application window. Alternatively, you can also press Alt plus F11 to open the Visual Basic editor window. Okay, so let's click on Visual Basic here, and once you click on Visual Basic, it will open the Microsoft Visual Basic for application, and this is for the current project, that is SQL Query Executor. And in this project, if you can see that here, we have one workbook and one worksheet. Okay, so to write the code, we need to insert one module, that is the blank module first. So let's click on Insert menu and click on Module. So in this module, we will write the required query. So before writing the code, we need to add the reference of Microsoft Activex Data Object 6.1 library to this project. So let's click on Tools and then Reference. And in this reference dialog box, you can see that like we have a lot of reference available here. So you just need to find the Microsoft Activex Data Object 6.1. Okay, so let's press M and then using the down arrow. Okay, so here you can see that Microsoft Activex Data Object 6.1 library. Just tick this and click on OK. So once you click on OK, that library will get added to this project, so that we can utilize all the properties and method of that library. Okay, so first of all, we will write the code on this button, basically like the browse and reset, and on double click event for this text box. Okay, so let's double click on that, this browse button, and once you double click on that, it will insert a private sub procedure, that is the click event on browse button in sheet 1. So let's start writing the code. So let's declare one variable, that is dim txt full path. Okay, and we will utilize this variable to store the file name has been selected by user. Okay, so let's txt full path, and here we are going to use the standard open dialog box, so that we can take the path name only and without opening it. So application dot get open dialog, open file name basically, and then open the bracket and then break the line. Yeah, now we need to provide some parameters. So file filter, basically file filter colon equal to, and we need to provide this the filter here, so that would be Excel files, open bracket, and then star dot XLS semicolon star dot xlsx semicolon star dot xlsm, okay, and then close the bracket. Now put the comma here, and again we need to pass the same, the same extension, these three types of extension over here. That would be this. Okay, let's put comma and then break the line. Now the second parameter is title. So title, that would be select Excel file, okay, and then close the bracket. So we have two parameters here, file filter and title. Now let's come to the next line. Now we need to validate whether user has selected any of the file or not. So if txt full path is equal to false, then user has not selected any of the file. So what we need to do, we need to terminate the code. So exit sub. I think we forgot to add then exit sub, okay. And then if user has selected the path, then what we need to do, we need to assign the txt full path, the value of txt full path to this text box. So let's copy the text box here and is equal to txt full path. So txt workbook dot value. Okay, so we are done with the code. If you want to check this, you can run it. Look at this, it's running. Let's cancel this. Now we need to write the same code on double click event of this text box. So just go to the developer tab here and put it in design mode, and then again double click here, this one. But you can see here it has inserted txt workbook path underscore change, but we are going to write the code on double click event. So while keeping your cursor in this private sub procedure, just go to this this drop down and then select this double click. Now you can see that one more sub procedure has been added. So let's delete the previous one, and we need to write the code in between this private and end sub. Okay, so let's copy the entire line of a statement and paste over here. Okay, so it means with the help of browse button, user can select any of the file, or user can double click on this text box to open the standard dialog box and select the file. Okay, so we are done with this. Let's move to the Excel application again, and we need to write the code on reset. So just double click on that, and now you can see that one more sub procedure has been added on click event for reset button. So now we need to write the code. So first of all, we need to take the confirmation from user whether user wants to reset this tool or not. So for that we need to declare a variable, that is I confirmation as VB message box result, and we need to store the user response basically. So let's take this user response, I confirmation message box, do you want to reset this application? Okay, and here we are asking the question, so we will provide two different options. User can select yes or no. So the button should be VB yes no, and the icon should be VB question. Okay, the title should be confirmation. So I think we have provided the incorrect spelling over here. Okay, now we have stored the user response. Let's validate whether user has selected yes or no. So if I confirmation is equal to VB no, it means user does not want to reset the tool. So if no, then exit sub. It means it will terminate the line of code on this statement only. Say suppose user has selected yes, then it will bypass this line of a statement. Okay, and then proceed with further code. So what we need to do, we need to delete the previous value, like previous records which will start appearing by this from row number 24, and then it will also clear the value whatever the path we have assigned in this text box, as well as we also reset this the SQL query text box. Okay, so let's write the code. So this workbook dot sheets, and worksheet name is query executor. Okay, dot rows 24, let's 24, and then colon. So let's take rows dot count. Okay, and dot clear. So what it will do, it will clear all the data available rows starting from this 24 to last row. Okay, now we need to remove the value from this text box and text box. So let's take copy this, and then .txt workbook path dot value is equal to blank. Let's copy the same line of statement for SQL query and replace this txt SQL query. Okay, so we are done with resetting the value or the tool basically. Let's come to the Excel here, and if you look at this, we have already written the code for this double click event for this one, click event for browse, and click event for reset. We have only one button left, that is the run SQL. So we will write the code on this the click event of run SQL code later on. So first of all, we need to write a sub procedure so that it can handle or it can run the query, whatever the query will pass in this text box, and then provide the outcome. Okay, so let's move to the developer tab and Visual Basic application, and we need to write that sub procedure in module 1. So let's double click on module 1 here. Okay, so here let's start writing the code. So the sub procedure name would be sub run underscore SQL query. Okay, so first of all we will write the code so that we can handle any of the error that will occur while running the tool. So to do that, let's on error go to error underscore handler handler. Okay, now we need to create the label, that is this error handler. So let's copy this and put it over here and with colon. Okay, so it means whatever, like it will run the code in between this on error and error handler, and if any of the error will occur, basically it will directly jump to error handler and it will start running whatever the code we are going to write over here. Okay, so let's first write the code here. That would be we will provide the message box here and error. Okay, and then ampersand error dot description, right? And then we need to provide the same error description and the same message here in B25 so that user can see. So let's this workbook dot sheets, and the worksheet name is query executor dot range b25 dot value. Okay, so the value would be this one. So let's copy this code equal to this. Now we need to make this the font color as red. So let's copy this b25, paste over here, and then this font dot color is equal to VV red. Okay, so we are done with the writing the code to error handler. Let's start writing the code here. So let's put the separator. So first of all, we are going to declare a variable, that is my connect. So dim my connect as a string. So with the help of my connect, we will store the connection string. Okay, and while opening the record set, we will pass the connection string as a parameter. Okay, so let's create another variable, that is my record set. So dim my record set as ADODB dot record set. This one. Okay, so this record set object variable will hold all the outcome which will be provided by SQL query. Okay, so let's declare a variable to store the SQL code provided by user in text box. So it means whatever the SQL statement will be provided by user in this text box, we are going to store in that variable. So let's dim MySQL as a string. Okay, now let's declare one more variable, that would be dim Excel file as a string. So we will store the Excel file along with complete path in this variable. Okay, so let's initialize all the variables. So first of all, we will initialize this one, this Excel path. So copy this, and then this workbook dot sheets query executor dot, and the Excel file is available in this text box. So let's copy the text box name and dot value. Okay, now we need to take this the SQL statement as well. So let's copy this line of code, and here we need to replace the variable with MySQL. So MySQL, and we are going to store the SQL query in MySQL variable. So let's come this here and copy the name of this one, the text box, that is txt SQL query. So this one, this way. So now we are done with assigning the MySQL code to this variable. So let's start creating a connection string and assigning it to my connect variables. So first of all, let's write the code and then we will understand all the parameters. So as we have declared a variable that is my string here, so let's copy and paste, and my string would be provider, and the provider name is Microsoft.acs.oledb.12.0 semicolon, and then inverted commas, yeah, and then ampersand and break the line. The second parameter is data source. So data source, let's align this. Okay, yeah, so data source is equal to, so we have already stored the data source in this variable Excel file. So let's copy this Excel this variable and ampersand in here, again ampersand, and then semicolon, and then ampersand, then line break. Okay, the third parameter is extended properties. So ext extended properties is equal to Excel 12.0. Okay, so this is my connection string basically. So let's understand all these three parameters. So basically the first parameter is provider. So the provider argument tells Visual Basic application what type of data source we are going to work with. So Microsoft.is.oledb.12.0 is only for MS Access data type and Excel Workbook data type. And as we are going to work with to query the data from MS Excel Workbook only, that's why we are providing this Microsoft.is.oledb. Okay. The second argument is a data source. So basically it tells about which path or which database you are going to connect with. So we are going to provide the complete path of database or the database name basically. So the third parameter is extended properties, and this parameter is required only when we are going to establish the connection between with Excel workbook. So as we will query the data from Excel workbook, that's why I have utilized this. Okay, and this the value would be Excel 12.0. okay. Now we have, like, here we have already declared a variable. So let's as this variable is the object type variable, so we will use a set keyword to set the reference of ADODB. Okay, so let's start writing the code. That is set my record set is equal to new ADODB dot record set. Okay, now we need to write the code to open an existing table or query with arguments like source, connection, string, cursor type, and log type. So let's first of all write the code to open the record set, and then we will understand all the parameters which we are going to pass here. So we are going to open the my record set. So let's my record set dot open, and the first argument is the source. So the source is MySQL, basically this variable. So here source comma, the second is active connection. So we will provide the my connection. So my connection string is available here in my connect, and then the third is cursor type. So the cursor type would be add open static, this one the last one, and the fourth one is log type. So the log type would be again add log type, like read only. So we are done with opening the record set. Let's understand all these four parameters which we have provided here. So the first parameter, that is the source, and we have provided the MySQL as a source argument. This specifies the data that is to be extracted using select statement. Okay, so it means whatever the query that will be available in MySQL, that will run. Yeah, the second parameter is the my connection. Basically this is a connection string, and which we have already defined and discussed this while creating this my connection string. Okay, the third parameter is that is cursor type, and we are using the add open static cursor. So as we are going to query the data, we are not going to make any modification. That's why we will be using the add open static, and this will provide the quick result basically. So whenever you run this SQL statement like the select query, basically that this is the best the cursor type. And the last argument is the log type here. So as we are going to work with a record set, and that is only for read only, right? We are not going to make any modification in that record set. That's the reason we are using add log read only. Okay, now we like all the values, whatever the outcome that will be provided by MySQL, that has been stored in the my record set. But the limitation of my record set is whenever you show the data, it will not show the header by default. So first of all, we need to write the code so that we can show the column header first, and then we will start showing the records. So let's start with the for loop. So for that we need to declare a variable I as integer, and then let's start with the for loop here. Let me create some room so that you can see for, and let's initialize I is equal to 0 to record set dot fields dot count. Okay, and as we are taking initializing with 0, so whatever the record count would be, that would be -1. Yeah, and then next let's start with block. This sheets and worksheet name is query executor dot. So in row number 24, starting from column this B column, we will show the header. So this, like this one. Okay, so let's start with this one. So cells, and then row will be 24, and the column would be I plus 2. So why I plus 2? Because I is initially I would be 0, and here it's a column number 2. So I plus 2, it means 0 plus 2, it will provide the column B. Okay, and then and with, sorry, and let's write the code here. So dot value is equal to my record set dot fields dot fields, and we need to take the sequence of fields basically. So I dot name. Okay, and then we need to make the interior color. Basically we need to fill the color with gray or maybe black, whatever the color you want. So let's interior dot color is equal to, I'm going to pass this RGB here, and 117, 113, and again 113, and then dot font dot color is equal to VB white. So with the help of these line of code, what we are doing, we are creating the column headers and providing here. Okay, so we are done with this line of code. Let's start showing the record details, basically all the records starting from the B25. Okay, so this book dot sheets, and sheet name is executor dot range, and we will start showing the data from B25 dot copy from record set, and then my record set. Okay, so here like in this line we are utilizing the copy from record set method to get the data from my record set variable, because see, my record set variable has all the records. So after running this line of code, it will store all the records in this my record set. So it will show all the data starting from B25 here. Okay, now we are done with all the code. Here we need to write we need to come out from this some procedures to exit sub, and the reason why I'm writing exit sub, because after that all the codes which we have mentioned over here, that is error handler. It means if there would not be any error, then this code will be terminated at exit sub. In case if there would be any error in this, while running the code, then it will directly jump to this error handler and it will show that. So we are done with the run SQL query. Press Ctrl S to save this file, and let's move to this Excel application and double click on this run SQL, so that we can start writing the code on click event of run SQL. Okay, so let's start writing the code for this one. So first of all, we need to take the confirmation from user. So again, dim I confirmation as VB message box result, and let's take the confirmation. So I confirmation is equal to VB message box, and then do you want to run the query? Okay, VB yes no plus VB question, and then confirmation, and close the bracket. So let's validate the selection of user basically. So if I confirmation is equal to VB no, then exit sub. So it means if user has clicked on yes no button, then it will come out from this this code. If user has selected yes, then it will proceed with the code which are available here. Okay, like once it will proceed with the code, first of all we are going to validate whether the Excel file name which has been provided by user is valid file name or not. It means maybe it's available or it's missing. Okay, so let's and here we will utilize the directory function to validate whether file name is missing or not. So txt workbook path dot value is equal to blank. Then if directory function will return the blank value, it means whatever the path has been provided by user in this text box is not available. Okay, so we need to pass, we need to show a message box here, message box, and that is Excel workbook does not exist. Okay, and now we need to activate this text box, this box. So this dot activate, and then let's come out from exit sub. Okay, the second condition would be whether user has provided any of the text value or the query in this text box or not. So let's come to this, and then else if txt query dot value is equal to blank, then okay, so I think else if and then end if. Okay, now we need to write the code. So let's copy this statement, paste over here, and then change this. Please enter SQL statement first. Okay, and then we need to activate that workbook and then exit sub. So we are done with the validation. So let's clear all the data, like whatever the data or the previous records which are available starting from B24, we need to clear that. So this workbook dot sheets and then query executor dot rows, and then the row 24 colon, and then we need to make it dynamic rows dot count dot clear. Okay, now we need to run this. We need to call this SQL this sub procedure. So let's copy this and come to here and call this. Okay, so we are done with all the required codes for this project. Let's click on debug menu here and click on compile. So if there would be any syntax error, it will highlight the error. So here you can see that we don't have any error. Now let's move to the Excel here, Excel file, and click on developer tab and come out from the design mode, because we are going to run this application. So let's click on that, and you can see that we are not in design mode. Okay, and let's double click on this and click on sales. So with the help of this button, I'll double click on that. You can select, or you can also click on browse and select the file sales data. Okay, and here let's select a star from, and the worksheet name is sales, and we need to put dollar symbol here at the end. Let's click on run SQL query and click on yes. Okay, so it's showing the information, but I think we forgot to add a line of code so that it can auto expand the column basis on the data availability. So let's move to the developer tab again, click on Visual Basic. Let's write the code here, this one, this way. After running this query, this and dot used range. Okay, used range dot entire column dot auto fit. Let's save this, jump to Excel and click on run SQL, click on yes. Now you can see that it is auto expanding. Now let's make some mistake in this, while doing this. Like, let's put this sales table as this and click on run. That's yes. Now you can see that it's showing the error message, and the same error message is appearing over here. If you want to reset the tool, just click on reset and click on yes. So now you can see that all the code is running perfectly and it's providing the output. You can run any complex query or any other query basically basis on requirement, and it will start showing the result over here. Okay, hope you find this tutorial interesting. If you want to download the sample file with all the codes, then please visit our website www.thedatalabs.org. You can also find the link in the description box. If you have not subscribed our YouTube channel yet, then I would request you to subscribe it and hit the bell icon so that you can get the notification of all upcoming tutorials on Power BI dashboard, SharePoint automation, Excel, VBA tutorials and others. If you have any query, then please post it in comment section. We will reply on that. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.